Good afternoon all. So in this particular class, I will be discussing 30 the most important topics. Okay. How to do quick revision. See, the biggest thing with respect to current affairs is we have to read more. In that particular process of reading more, we have to do it quickly. So actually morning I thought only I will do weekly current affairs. Then I thought I want to teach you in lesser time how we have to do maximum. So doing within 60 minutes, doing 30 topics is a tougher task. But because we have to remember also. And how to make our content also very important. We cannot read all the points. So now in this particular session, I will teach you and I will make you understand by doing quickly, rapidly, how we have to identify the topics and how we should also make the notes out of it. Okay, we will start. Okay, 12:25, another 125, 60 minutes. We will try to complete 30 topics, big topics, but how we will concise it. That is the reason the topic is current affairs, 30 topics, 60 minutes. Very rapidly we will do. Number 1, Vadwan port will be the game changer for India. This is a news article. Vadwan port will be the game changer for India. For the first time, we are going to have a very big port, and that particular port is going to help 298 million tons per annum in the process of export and import. And in this, we also got the information that please do your quick writing also. 65% of exports and imports which are happening is happening only through west ports only. 65% of exports and imports are happening through west side ports. And in that west side port, 65%, there is no port which is having higher capacity. We have Jawaharlal Nehru port, but that was insufficient. Now in Maharashtra, with the change in the government, whereby the BJP government in state and central government BJP as well as state government BJP both combined together to make a very big port. That to a greenfield project, means a new project will be developed at Vadwan at a budget of around 76,220 crore by increasing the capacity of the port. And now we don't have the capacity. That is the reason we are not doing that much of exports and imports. Now, if we improve the capacity, for example, we have a classroom capacity of 50 students and intentionally we are making 50 students only. We are making only 50 admissions, so we are making the capacity is also up to 50. But if the potential is more, so when I want to increase the capacity of the classroom, so for example 100, that means if 100 students should sit, then I have to increase the capacity. But intentionally we made it should be only 50. We don't have the capacity, we have the potential, but we don't have the capacity. So this Vadwan port is increasing the capacity of India's exports and imports. That is most important. So hence it is going to be the game changer. It is located near the Dano town in Maharashtra. And the port name is called as Vadwan. Next, Trump, as soon as he had became the president of America, he is coming with lot of reforms, and one of the reforms which he want to bring is daylight saving time. What is this? Usually what will happen, more sunlight to use it. So there is a concept called as daylight saving time. According to this, we will be pushing. If you see 1 hour in the summer, that means the daytime will start by 6 a.m. and the night time will be closed by 6 p.m. So in that way, in the summer season, in the general times, in the spring seasons, they will be making the working times 1 hour above 6 a.m. Whereas in fall times, which is called as in winters, they want to reduce it. In that way, the working time they want to increase. Now, the Donald Trump want to do away with this daylight savings time. If you see, in the noons it is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunrise it is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Generally what will happen? So standard time is what? 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Daylight saving time, what we will do if it is summer? They will make it as 5 a.m. and they want to close it by 5 p.m. In that way, they will be making an adjustment according to the season. Now they don't want to make any adjustment because Trump believes that because of adjustment, there is inconvenience, there is no clarity. People, the employees, the companies are becoming confused. So, year long there will be one particular standard time. That particular concept is called as daylight saving time. Third, Jalwahak scheme. There is a scheme called as Jalwahak scheme which was being made in the month of December and January. What is Jalwahak scheme? In order to promote inner waterways, inland waterways. In order to promote inland waterways, there was a scheme which is called as Jalwahak scheme. Simple. Under this, if any company or any organization or any enterprise, if they are transporting their goods through these inland waterways, 35% subsidy will be given by the government. So that what will happen? 35% the subsidy is given by government. So what will happen? The people dependence on lorries, the people dependence on trucks will reduce. So the roads will not be congested. Pollution will not be generated. The demand on the oil will be reduced. In order to have these all benefits, the government of India had came up with a scheme called as Jalwahak scheme. So under this Jalwahak scheme, there will be a reimbursement of up to 35% of total operating expenditure. So 35% reimbursement will happen as a process of subsidy in 3 waterways, inland waterways. As of now, according to this scheme, they are targeting only 3 inland waterways. Number 1, it is National Waterway 1, Ganga River. Number 2, National Waterway 2, Brahmaputra River. And 3, National Waterway 16, which is Barak River, via Indo-Bangladesh Protocol. So 3 waterways we are targeting under Jalwahak scheme. Number 1, which is Ganga, Brahmaputra, Barak River. Barak River will be as per Indo-Bangladesh Protocol. Why? Because Barak River is on the border of India and Bangladesh. So up to now, we are having the links and the lengths. Overall, we are having nearly 13. We are having national waterways. How many? 13. Under this scheme, how many waterways are being covered? 3 waterways has been covered. 1, 2 and 16. Next, Kerch Strait. These are all geography related current affairs. Kerch Strait. If you see this diagram, if you see this image, if you see this map, you can come to a conclusion. There is something called a Sea of Azov and there is a Black Sea. And this is Crimean Peninsula and this is Ukraine and this is Russia. We know that in 2018 itself, the Crimean Peninsula was being taken away by Russia. Originally belongs to Ukraine. But it has been taken away by Russia. So, in order to connect, now Crimea is part of Russia. But this Crimea and Russia are being divided by a thin strait. What is strait, sir? This is. What is strait, sir? 2 land masses is divided by a waterway. If 2 land masses, if they are divided by a waterway, that waterway is called as what? Strait. That strait is called as Kerch Strait. Now, why it is in the news? A very big ship which is carrying huge oil was being fallen down, because of which a very huge oil spill happened in this particular area. And it had impacted fish, marine life, human beings also. Why? Because a bridge was being constructed up to 3 kilometers. The longest bridge of Europe was being constructed joining Russia and Crimea. And this bridge construction as well as the people who are working in this particular area were being impacted with health issues because of fall of oil spill. Where the oil spill happened? In this Kerch Strait. So the Kerch Strait is connecting 2 land masses. What are the 2 land masses? One is Crimea and other is Russia. As well as it is also connecting 2 seas. It is also connecting 2 seas, which is called as Sea of Azov and Sea of Black Sea. And this connectivity is called as Strait of Kerch. Hence it is in the news. It is also one of the example to show the hegemony of Russia by connecting a bridge with Crimea. So it is proving that yes, Crimea belongs to us. Why? Because we had took into our control. It is also one of the example of hegemony of Russia. But however, in the same area of 3 kilometers, a oil spill had been occurred. Hence, it is in the news. Next, we know that Ken-Betwa link project, KBLP, which was in the news since last 1 decade, but it got fruitful. Now it got been finally approved. It got approval from Ministry of Environment, it got approval from Ministry of Jal Shakti, from all the ministries it got approval, and now it is targeted to operationalize. The main target of Ken-Betwa link project is to provide drought hit area Bundelkhand with water. Now Bundelkhand will be getting the water. Which region will be getting the water because of Ken-Betwa link project? It is mainly Bundelkhand region. So what are the benefits of this? Drinking water supply to a population of 62 lakhs. Huge employment opportunity and infrastructure development, irrigation benefits up to 10 lakh hectares of land, improve socio-economic conditions of people of backward region, mainly Bundelkhand region. 103 megawatts of hydropower project will be developed in this particular area, and flood control. So on the top, if you see the Ken-Betwa interlinking, so here Ken-Betwa, the water will be taken from Betwa and pushed into the Ken. Here it is floods are more, here it is drought. So the floods, the water which is more here will be pushed into Ken river. So hence it's a river linking project called as Ken-Betwa interlinking project. So the cost is how much? 18,557 crore. So the states involved are, 2 states are involved in it. What are the 2 states involved in it? Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. And what are the districts which are getting benefited? Mainly in Madhya Pradesh, Chhatrapur, Panna and Tikamgarh. In Uttar Pradesh, Jhansi, Bhanda, Mahoba and Lalitpur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 7 districts are getting benefited under which region? Bundelkhand region. Irrigation benefits we are getting Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, and most of the land is present where? In Madhya Pradesh. Most of the land is present in statement wise questions. The most of the land is present in Uttar Pradesh or most of the land is present in Madhya Pradesh. The most of the land which is getting benefited under this particular interlinking of river project is Madhya Pradesh. Drinking water supply is getting, megawatts of electricity is getting. This is what with respect to interlinking of river water project. Ken and Betwa. Betwa belongs to Betwa and Ken. So in this way, it's a mix. It's a mix of both. Next, polity related. How we have to identify the topic. So what happened in the month of December end and January first week? Opposition had moved a resolution. Opposition had moved a resolution in Rajya Sabha for the removal of Vice President of India. A resolution was being moved, initiated, where? In Rajya Sabha, for the removal of whom? Vice President of India. Hence it is in the news. So you have to remember everything with respect to Vice President. So the Vice President of India is the second most important person after the President of India. After the President of India, the high prerogative person is who? Vice President of India. The Vice President of India doesn't have any role or any functions. The main purpose of Vice President of India will be waiting for the vacancy of President post. So when the President of India post become vacant, when the President of India post became vacant, for the next 6 months, the President will become the Vice President will become the President. But however, within the 6 months, the President post should be filled. So maximum a Vice President can become President up to how many time? How much period? 6 months he can period. But whereas in America, a Vice President, if President dies, then the Vice President will become the President for remaining term. But in India, a Vice President can become President if President seat become vacant for another 6 months, because within 6 months election for the President need to be conducted. This is the position of Vice President. But main his role is what? He will be acting as the chairman of, he will be working as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So salary which are being paid, the salaries which are being paid to the Vice President is not because of he is Vice President of India, but because he is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So now if the Rajya Sabha member need to be removed, so first we will understand how the vice president will be appointed. The vice president will be appointed by the election conducted among the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Elected members and nominated members, both people will be participating in the elections of vice president. Remember, elected members and nominated members of Lok Sabha, elected members and nominated members of Rajya Sabha, both will be contesting in the elections of Vice President of India. Once he elected, for another 5 years he is going to be the Vice President. But as Vice President, he will be not drawing the salary, he will be drawing the salary as the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. But what happened? A resolution was being moved in the Rajya Sabha for the removal of Vice President. Who is he? Jagdeep Dhankar. So against Jagdish Dhankar, a resolution was being moved for his removal. So in his removal, then what is the procedure for the removal of Vice President? How many members present in the Rajya Sabha? Divided by 2 plus 1, if it is passed, it is called as removal procedure for Vice President of India, which is called as absolute majority. Absolute majority should be there. Means if 300, for example, if 250 members are there, then compulsory 126 members should pass the resolution for the removal of Vice President and accepted by the Lok Sabha, means simple majority. In Rajya Sabha, it is absolute majority and simple majority, which is called as, the words which are used in the constitution is what? Accepted by the Lok Sabha. So simple majority in the Lok Sabha. When both this resolution has been passed, then the Vice President will be removed. This is the procedure. But however, this resolution motion was been not passed. So Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar was been not removed. But we understood the procedure. What is the procedure for Vice President election? Elected and nominated members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will be voting for Vice President. And what is the removal procedure? Absolute majority in Rajya Sabha and accepted means, here accepted means what? Simple majority. Accepted by Lok Sabha. Then signed by the President, he will be removed. Next, his removal will be addressed to President of India. So if the Vice President want to resign, then he will be addressing whom? President of India. This is the procedure. Why? Because he is more controversial. Jagdeep Dhankar, being Vice President of India, he completely bowed down in front of Pradhana Mantri Narendra Modi. So he was being heavily criticized. So hence, the Vice President issue is more important for 2025 prelims. There is something called as protected area regime. There is something called as protected area regime. In this context, I will be giving you information about, there are 4 protected area concepts in India. There are 4 protected area concepts in India. One is called as Schedule 5. Other is called as Schedule 6. Other is called as Inner Line Permit. Other is called as Inner Line Permit. Other is called as Protected Area Regime. We have 4 concepts. Schedule 5, mainly for the tribal people who are living in the mainstream India. For the protection of the tribal people living in the mainstream India, there is a concept called as Schedule 5. For the tribal people who are living in the northeast India, there is a concept called as Schedule 6, AMTM, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. There is another concept which is called as Inner Line Permit, mainly to protect the tribals who are living in the strategic locations on the borders, mainly whom? Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur and Nagaland. These four states are having what? Inner line permit. But what is in the news? This is in the news, which is called as protected area regime. Why the protected area regime is in the news? Center reimposed protected area regime to three states, Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland. ఈ 3 రాష్ట్రాలకి, for these 3 states, again they reimposed what? Protected area regime. What are the states? Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland, MMN. So, in the 2024 December and 2025 January, they came up with what? Protected area regime was been reimposed. In how many states? 3 states. Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland. Hence it is in the news. Hence it is in the news. What is this? So what? So mainly, I am explaining about a protected area regime. There is something called as Foreigners Protected Areas Order of 1958, which mandates foreigners to not to enter into these areas, mainly because those areas are sensitive areas where the tribal people are located. In order to protect them, there is one order which is called as Foreigners Protected Areas Order of 1958. So if any foreigner want to attend, foreigner means not Americans or outsiders, who are foreign to this area, if they want to enter into this area, they need to get a special permissions. There is a need for special permissions issued by whom? Central government. The protected area include regions close to international borders, Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand and Jammu and Kashmir, entire areas of Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram and Sikkim. So what are all the areas which are coming under protected area regime? Remember this, mainly on borders. Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh UT, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir, Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram and Sikkim. Another order in 1963 declared the entire Andaman Nicobar Islands and parts of Sikkim as restricted area. A permit called as protected area permit specifies details like place of entry, residence and period of stay. How many days they have to stay, where they have to live, these all things will be mentioned. So, protected area regime is not only for Northeast India, for all the bordering states. Like what? Himachal Pradesh. Like what? Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir. And later they also added whom? Sikkim and Andaman Nicobar Islands. So how many areas are there under it? 10 areas are there. So under protected area regime, how many areas are there? 10 areas are there. Again I am repeating. Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir. Then later added Andaman Nicobar and Sikkim, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and finally Ladakh. These are the 10 bordering states which are been having what? Protected area regime. Recently what has been added? Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland. What is the condition with respect to protected area regime? If any foreigner want to enter into this area, they have to get a special permission from whom? Central government or authorized persons of central government. Then only we can enter into this regions. This is what which is called as protected area regime. Next, assisted dying legislation. Legalize assisted dying and let us choose to die. Assist us to live, not die. So there is a movement which is happening in United Kingdom. A movement which is happening in United Kingdom mainly with respect to assisted dying concept. What is this assisted dying concept? Mainly people who are suffering with grave health problems, where they cannot sustain or where they cannot live up to their fullest potential because of health problems. And when they are mentally fit, but they are in a vegetative state. They are in a coma state for a long period. They are in a vegetative state. They are suffering with diseases. They cannot live, they cannot die. But they are staying. For those people, there was a debate, there was a demand which is happening in United Kingdom. That is, please allow us to die. At least if we die, we will be happy. We are suffering with the pain. We are suffering with injury. We are suffering with illness. No one is there to take care about us. This life, how I can lead? So better kill me. That is called as what? Assisted dying. So United Kingdom has came up a legislation which is called as assisted dying. So if the people are mentally fit and if they know that they are going to die within 6 months, if they wish to die, then they can die. That is called as assisted dying legislation which is coming up in United Kingdom. Why it is in the news? So similar concept is there in India also by the name called as euthanasia. Euthanasia, when the people are unable to live, when they are in a vegetative state for a prolonged time, if they want to die, if they wish to die, if they don't want to further live, then they can apply to the court asking for euthanasia. So two types of euthanasia means mercy killing. There are two types of euthanasia are there. One is called as active euthanasia, other is called as passive euthanasia. Active euthanasia means I will give a lethal medicine. By that medicine he will die. That is called as active euthanasia. Passive euthanasia, whereby he is in ventilator. That ventilators will be removed. The health support will be removed because of which the person will die. It is called as passive euthanasia. So we are not killing, but we are removing the health support, life support, so person is dying. That is called as passive. When we give lethal medicine, it is called as active euthanasia. So two are there. So India's concept of passive euthanasia is similar to the assisted dying concept of UK. Euthanasia. With active euthanasia not being legislated, what is the extent of right to passive euthanasia under the Indian Constitution? The sanctity of human life is well recognized within our Constitution. The individual possesses certain inalienable rights that cannot be waived in circumstances other than those provided by the law. So, Supreme Court of India accepted what? Passive euthanasia. Up to now, we don't have any legislation to kill, to have a mercy killing. Remember this. Mercy killing ki elanti chattam ledu. కానీ సుప్రీంకోర్టు ఏమని చెప్పింది అని అంటే ఆ మెర్సీ కిల్లింగ్లో 2 రకాలు ఉన్నాయి, యాక్టివ్ మెర్సీ కిల్లింగ్ అండ్ passive mercy killing. So active mercy killing, which is called as active euthanasia, I will give a lethal medicine so that the person will die, or I will remove the health support because of which people will die. So we are not going with active euthanasia, but we can go with after a report submitted by the doctors committee. Then only the court will be authorizing for passive euthanasia. The same concept is been legalized in UK by the name called as assisted dying. Next, National Green Tribunal is in news. National Green Tribunal in news. Why the National Green Tribunal is in news? In the month of January, first week, what happened? The National Green Tribunal will be following natural justice. Means what? National Green Tribunal, which was been legislated in the year 2010, it will be following Constitution of India. It will be following Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. It will be following CRPC, CPC, IPC and Bharatiya Nagarika Sanhita. All these things will be followed by National Green Tribunal. Plus natural justice. Natural justice it will be following. But what happened here now? In the month of January, 2-3 judgments were being given by National Green Tribunals. The 2-3 judgments were being not as per natural justice, as per expert committee recommendations. Then the Supreme Court of India questioned the National Green Tribunal. You National Green Tribunal, you are not following natural justice, you are following expert committee recommendations. If really expert committee recommendations are required, then I will only take the case, no. Then why we should create another parallel body called as National Green Tribunal? You have to follow what? Natural justice. So you are also violating natural justice concept and you are following expert body recommendations. Sometimes expert body recommendations might go against nature. So something called as natural justice, which should be followed by National Green Tribunal, which is been told. Judicial body like NGT cannot simply accept expert committee recommendations without complying with the principles of. So you have to follow main natural justice. National Green Tribunal. Facts. Fatafat, remember it. These are facts. Established 2010. Established 2010. Quick resolution for environmental, wildlife protection and natural resources protection. This is the main function of National Green Tribunal. Within 6 months. The case should be solved within 6 months. Where it is? New Delhi. The principal bench is located where? New Delhi. Where are the benches? Bhopal, Pune, Kolkata and Chennai. Composition. The chairman, judicial members as expert members. Tenure up to 5 years until they get the age of 65 years. Chairperson central government will be appointing, mainly former CGI will become. 10 to 20 judicial member, 20 expert members will be there in selection committee. India is the 3rd country globally to have National Green Tribunal. And in the developing country, India is the first country to have National Green Tribunal. Means exclusive tribunal for environment related cases. India is the 3rd global country, and in the developing country, India is the first to have its own exclusive environment court, green court. Up to now, there is no green court in India. Before 2010, in 2020, we have a green court by the name called as what? National Green Tribunal. In the world, it is the 3rd, and developing countries, it is the 1st. Civil cases on environmental issues and rights. Sumoto they can take. Adjudicatory, preventive and remedial. Follows principles of natural justice. Not completely bound by Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. They can follow what? Natural justice. Sustainable development precautionary principles. So, equitable as civil court decrees offers reliefs and compensation. Deals with civil cases of what? Water related act, forest related act, air related act, environment related act, public liability act, biological and biodiversity. This is a PYQ, remember this. What are the legislations which are being followed by National Green Tribunals other than natural justice? Other than natural justice, what are the legislations followed by National Green? Ante natural justice kaakunda ఏ చట్టాలను సీరియస్ గా ఫాలో అవుతుంది National Green Tribunal? Number 1, Water Acts. Second, Forest Act, Forest Conservation Act of 1980. Third, Air Acts. And next, Environment Protection Act. Next is Public Liability Act. Last is Biological Diversity Act of 2002. These are the registrations which are followed by National Green Tribunal. Again, repeat. What are the acts? Water Act, Air Act, Environment Protection Act, Forest Protection Act, Public Liability Act and Biological Diversity Act. BDA. ఈ చట్టాలను ఫాలో అవుతుంది అనమాట. దాంతోపాటు ఇంకేం ఫాలో అవుతుంది? న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్ ఫాలో అవుతుంది. ఎందుకు ఇది న్యూస్లో ఉంది? రాదర్ దాన్ ఫాలోయింగ్ న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫాలోయింగ్ వాట్? Expert committee recommendations. If you want to follow the expert committee recommendations, then the case will come to Supreme Court of India. Now, why it will come to National Green Tribunal? That is the question asked by Supreme Court of India. Hence, it is in the news. NRIC, National Register of Indian Citizens. It is in the news. National Register of Indian Citizens. We know that in 2025, census is going to be released. Actually, every year, 2011, 2001, 2021 census should come. But because of COVID, census enumeration didn't happen. Then 2022, little bit COVID was there. People were being worried. Then 2023, 2024 elections was been there. So then again, we started doing census, calculation of the population number. Started in 2024. By 2025, there is going to happen what? Census document is going to be released. Here they are also collecting what now? NRIC, National Register for Indian Citizens, for the first time. What is this, sir? NRIC, a proper identity to every citizen of the country. If he is migrated, then in that it will be mentioned he migrated from where. He is a natural citizen, he is a natural citizen. He is a citizen by birth, then he is a citizen by birth. Very clearly will be mentioned with respect to citizenship, so that the safety, security of the nation cannot be compromised. That particular card is called as what? National Register for Indian Citizens. Enhance national security by creating a verified citizen database, differentiating citizens from non-citizens. Is crucial for reducing identity fraud and duplication by verifying individuals through biometric and demographic data. It supports efficient delivery of government welfare programs, ensuring that benefits reach only eligible citizens, so that only the Indian citizens will be getting the government benefits, not all. Why, sir? Why? Because there is a lot of doubt among the BJP government regarding people who are located in Tripura, the people who are located in West Bengal, the people who are located in Assam. They are the people who migrated from Bangladesh. So they don't want to give this government welfare scheme to these people who migrated from Bangladesh, or people migrated from Pakistan, or people migrated from Myanmar. So in order to control that, now properly they are going to give with respect to citizenship in that particular card, which is called as NRIC, National Register of Indian Citizen. Next. So this is going to be released for me, for you, everyone, through census 2025. Economy related. What happened? Most important. UIDF. There is something called as RIDF, which was in the news, and UPSC prelims favorite question. This is RIDF, which is called as Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. Every year in the budget allocation, there is rural, on the name of rural infrastructure development, there is a program called as, there is a scheme called as, there is an initiative called as RIDF, which is called as Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. On the name of Rural Infrastructure Development Fund, another scheme came similar to RIDF. Another scheme came into existence, which is called as UIDF, which is called as Urban Infrastructure Development Fund. So this Urban Infrastructure Development Fund started from which budget? 2023. From 2023 budget, we started with what? UIDF. See, like the RIDF, Urban Infra Development Fund will be established through use of priority sector lending. This will be managed by National Housing Bank. Remember this. This will be managed by whom? NHB, National Housing Bank, and will be used by public agencies to create urban infrastructure not in Tier 1 cities, Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. What are Tier 1 cities? Cosmopolitan, more than 10 lakhs. Yes, cosmopolitan cities. If the population is more than 10 lakhs, it is called as Tier 1 cities. So this UIDF will not go for all the cities. It will go only for which cities? Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. States will be encouraged to leverage resources from the grants of 15th Finance Commission. You can also take money from 15th Finance Commission. And Tier 2 and Tier 3, I will also allocate by budget, so that urban infrastructure development will happen in which cities? Tier 2 and Tier 3. This program started on the lines of what? RIDF. And when it started? From 2023 budget. The fund has already been created at National Housing Bank, mainly Tier 1 and Tier 2. So in this way, this is helping. So now today in the budget also compulsory they are going to allocate for RIDF and UIDF. RBI's AI model. RBI's artificial intelligence model. Mule Hunter AI. What is this? Mule accounts. Simple. I will use your, for example, I am a fraudster. I will use your Aadhaar card. I will use your PAN card. I will use your signature and I will open a bank account of yours. The bank account will be yours, will be operated by me. That type of bank accounts are called as mule accounts. The type of bank accounts will be what? Mule accounts. This happened very recently in Delhi. What they did? Xerox center people. When people come for Xerox of Aadhaar card or Aadhaar or PAN card, or few people who don't know nearby the banks, who don't know how to fill the bank accounts, they started forging their signature and making conspiracy with the bank officers and opening mule accounts. And these mule accounts are being given to whom? And these mule accounts are given for those people who are doing Hawala transactions. In the last class I told you, Hawala transactions. Those accounts are called as mule accounts. Now RBI using artificial intelligence to catch this mule accounts. Hence it is in the news. What are mule accounts? A mule account is an account created by one person but operated by another person. Either I created on your name or you created and you gave it to me and I am using it. That is also called as mule account. These accounts are often used for money laundering and tax evasion. Mule accounts are in violation of several rules and can be prosecuted under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Regulators RBI and SEBI have been urging ecosystem participants to work on detecting and curbing mule account. What is RBI's? We have what? RBI's AI Mule Hunter. Mule Hunter AI is RBI's in-house developed artificial intelligence machine learning model. It can be used by banks to help detect mule accounts that enable fraud. So it will, there is what is that name called as? Mule Hunter AI. Mule Hunter AI is part of RBI's AI which will be catching mule accounts. That's it. The mule accounts will be caught by RBI by which software? AI. By which AI tool? Mule Hunter AI. Mule Hunter AI. Mule Hunter AI is recently in news. It talks about what? It talks about to detect mule accounts, to detect fake accounts, to detect fake bank accounts. Consumer confidence survey. Consumer confidence survey will be done by RBI. The Reserve Bank of India conducts a consumer confidence survey to measure consumers' perception of the prevailing economic situation. The survey is conducted across various cities and measures consumer confidence on parameters such as economy, employment, price, income and spending. So what is the consumer confidence index? See here, current situation, future expectations. If you see in November 2019 to March 2014, what is happening? The consumer confidence is increasing. This is pessimism, this is optimism. So now we are reaching at the level of optimism. So consumer confidence index is positive or negative? It's positive. And future prediction is what? Future expectation. Future prediction is what? We will be increasing. So consumer confidence index, earlier it is deteriorating. When? 20, 21. Why? Very good. COVID times. 20, 20, 21, 21. Why it is low? COVID times. We are in confusion whether markets will open or not, people will come out or not, we are in confusion. So what happened? Consumer confidence reduced. Then slowly what happened? Consumer confidence is increasing, now reaching what? Stable position. And above it is optimism. So in prelims question they will ask, consumer confidence index which has been released by RBI is showing positive trend or negative trend? Positive trend in 2024, negative trend in 2020 and 2021. India's direct tax collection. India's direct tax collection. What is India's direct tax collection? So usually what will happen, every year indirect tax collections will be more. GST collections, corporate tax collections will be huge. Direct tax collections will be less. But what happened now, by the third quarter of 2024 and 2025, the third quarter which ending December, the direct tax collections increased, which wondered. Like income tax got increased. The direct taxes got increased. That too how? India's direct tax collection surged by 15.4% to rupees 12 crore in April to November. India's direct tax collection is increased by 16.90 lakh in fiscal year 25. India's direct tax collection has surged by nearly what? 16% to reach this amount according to the latest data from CBDT. Prelims point of view. Usually indirect taxes collections will be more, but what happened till December 2024? Direct taxes collections got increased. That too by how much percentage? 15%. It's a positive trend. Generally, what taxes will increase? Indirect taxes. What are indirect taxes? Customs, excise, GST. India Skill Report 2025. India's Skill Report 2025. See, according to India's Skill Report, Kerala shines in the India Skill Report of 2025. Kerala has secured a spot in the top 5 states for employability and internship work production. So, the top state is what? Kerala. With respect to what? India Skills Report 2025. Domain wise, overall employability among the youth. Majorly they are getting employment in which sector? Information technology. Second in computer science. Third in electronic communication, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering. With respect to what? Domain wise employability. So, domain wise employability, the topper in the batch is IT. In the states, the topper in the batch is Kerala. So, what is this, sir? Majorly, we will be understanding VBox online assessment platform specializes whether people or students or aspirants are having employability skill or not. What it will test? Whether the aspirants who are completing their degree education, whether they are having employability skill or not. If they are having employability skill, then the skill report will be maximum. If employability skill is not there, then they don't have any, a positive trend. It will be having a negative trend. As ASAP, as soon as possible, Kerala based skill training programs are increasing, boost vocational capabilities, employer metric of job readiness, additional skill acquisition programs are there, and mainly we have to remember that who is performing top with respect to India skills report? Kerala is environment and ecology. It is the latest. So now how many wetlands we have under Ramsar Convention? 89 we have. 89 wetlands we have. What is this, sir? Ramsar Convention. Ramsar is a place which is located in Iran. In this particular place, there was a convention for the protection of wetlands. What is the benefit of wetlands, sir? Wherever there is wetlands, flora and fauna will be protected. Where flora and fauna is protected, their environment will be conserved. So, how many Ramsar sites we have now? 89. Recently, how many got in the month of January 2025? Sakkarakottai Bird Sanctuary. Match the following. Sakkarakottai Bird Sanctuary, where? Tamil Nadu. Tirthangal Bird Sanctuary, Tamil Nadu. Kichoi Palri, Sikkim. Udwa Lake, Jharkhand. These are the 4 new Ramsar sites. Additionally, another example of Prakriti and Pragati march ahead together under the visionary leadership of Narendra Modi. So, we have 4. What are the 4? 86 is what? Sakkarakottai, where it is? Tamil Nadu. Tirthangal, 86. Kichoi Pari, 88. And 89 is what? Udwa Lake. Remember this. So, in the month of January, we got added 4 Ramsar sites. So, total how many Ramsar sites we are having? 89 Ramsar sites we are having. Next. Goldman Environmental Prize. Goldman Environmental Prize was been given to whom? Alok Shukla. Alok Shukla. What is this award, sir? This is similar to Nobel Prize. It is having the same status of Nobel Prize, but in the protection of environment. As Nobel Prize is not given in the category of protection of environment, this award is equated with Nobel Prize. Hence, Goldman Award is also called as what? Green Nobel Prize. Who got this? Alok Shukla. Why, sir? Arand Mahadeo. There is a hills called as Arand Mahadeo Hills in Chota Nagpur Plateau. So, in order to protect this forest area and to stop mining activities in this forest area, this person has been fought. Hence, he got the prize called as Goldman Environmental Prize for 2024. It has been regarded as what? Green Nobel Prize. The Goldman International Prize award that recognizes individuals who have made significant efforts to protect the environment. The award was established in 1989 by whom? Richard and Rhoda Goldman. So, for the first time in the history, for the first time an Indian got. For the first time in the history, the Indian got after 1989. Glyphothorax Punya Bharati. Punya Bratai. Punya Bratai. This is a ship, a newly identified catfish. Where? In Arunachal Pradesh. A newly identified species was been found in Arunachal Pradesh by the name called as what? Glyphothorax Punya Bharatai. So, who is this Punya Bharatai? He was the first founding member of Indian Council of Agriculture Research and National Board for Fish Genetical Research. For this establishment, ICAR NBFGR, a founding member is there. That person name is called as what? Punya Brata Das. So, on his name, a catfish was been named. It was been discovered for the first time, which is called as what? Glyphothorax. In prelims, we can expect. Glyphothorax Punya Bratai is what? A variety of catfish which was been found in Arunachal Pradesh. And the name was been given on the founding member of ICAR NBFGR, which is National Board for Fish and Genetical Research. ICAR, Indian Council for Agriculture Research. International Cryosphere, very important. International Cryosphere Climate Initiative. International Cryosphere Climate Initiative, what is this? It mainly protects 3 areas. The main intention of this is protection of Arctic oceans, Antarctic oceans, higher mountains like Himalayas. 3 areas will be protected under International Cryosphere Climate Initiative. Said that Venezuela only remaining, in Venezuela there is only one glacier, that glacier is also getting melted. So they gave a very big news that in Venezuela once upon a time thousands of glaciers were been there. Now all glaciers were been melted. Only one glacier was pending. Now that glacier is also getting melted, which is named as what? Humboldt La Corona. In the Andes had become too small to be classed as a glacier. It was formed in the year 2009 following what? Conference of Parties 15 in the Copenhagen meeting. It is a network of senior policy experts mainly to protection of glaciers. The program targets a unique climate dynamics to work in the cryosphere. It works focus mainly on the major areas of what? Arctic, Antarctic and high mountain regions. Got it? It is called, India is part of it. The name is what? International Cryosphere Climate Initiative. After which conference of parties it got established? 15. Where? Copenhagen. Copenhagen where? Denmark. Mainly for the protection. Why it is in the news? Very recently told that Venezuela is having only one glacier. That too one glacier got melted. Now it is not having the size to be called as a glacier. Hence there is no glaciers in Venezuela. Hence there is a concern that carbon dioxide production should be reduced. Carbon production should be reduced. If not, what happened to the Venezuela? Rest of the world also will happen. Then there will be no Arctic Ocean, no Antarctic Ocean, no high mountains. That is the concern of International Cryosphere Climate Initiative. GIO Litter, Partnership Project and Ghost Gear. What is this, sir? Ghost Gear, I will tell you. See. Mainly what is happening in the oceans when the passenger ships or passenger boatings, mainly passenger ships which are moving across the high seas, they are littering plastic. They are littering plastic. When they are littering plastic, it is getting polluted. When they are littering plastic, what is happening? It is getting plastic polluted. In order to stop this plastic pollution, we came up with what? Geo Litter Partnership Project. Around 30 countries from across the oceans have joined the Geo Litter Partnership Project to tackle marine plastic litter. Marine plastic litter was launched by International Maritime Organization and Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations Organization, and the government of Norway is providing the funds. 3 bodies came together. Number 1 is what? IMO. Number 2 is what? FAO, and funded by whom? Norway. For what purpose? To stop the littering of plastic in oceans. The project aims to help the maritime transport and fishing sectors to adapt to a low plastic future, To achieve this goal, this initiative will assist developing countries to apply best practices for prevention. 30 countries will be participating in the project. India is one of the members. The project will promote compliance with voluntary guidelines of the MARPOL Convention. It contains regulations against discharging plastics into the sea. So, main intention is what? To stop what? Littering of plastic. Which convention we are going to follow? MARPOL Convention. Marine Police. MARPOL. Marine Police MARPOL Convention should be followed. Who formed this? IMO and FAO. Funded by whom? Norway. How many countries are there? 30 countries are there. India is also part of it. Next, GSAP skills. GSAP skills. What is this? Global Species Action Plan. Global Species Action Plan. GSAP skills is an online platform that provides resources, tools and training to help governments and stakeholders to implement the global biodiversity framework. The platform's goal is to reduce the risk of extinction, increase abundance of species and prevent extinctions of what? Of all the species. So, in order to reduce the extinction, in order to promote the species, in order to stop the extinction, people should have the skills to protect the species. Hence, what program? GSAP skills. GSAP means what? Global Species Action Plan. Supporting implementation of Kunming Monitorial Global Biodiversity Framework to species conservation. The Global Species Action Plan, species conservation knowledge information mainly with respect to protection of skills. So, GSAP skills with respect to what he will ask. GSAP skills are recently in the news. It talks about what? Reduction in extinction, promotion of species and not tolerating extinction. They should not be extinct. Following which protocol? Kunming Monitorial Protocol. Kunming Monitorial Protocol. UN Commission on Narcotic Drugs. For the first time in the history, in the month of January, United Nations Commission on Drugs, India became the chairperson. In which commission? UN Commission on Narcotic Drugs. So, hence it is important. UN Commission on Narcotic Drugs, for the first time, India became the chairperson. This is the first time that India has been named to chair this important UN body. First time. India's growing leadership role on this shows what? India's growing leadership. This shows what? India is growing as a Vishwaguru. It's a principal policy body for making policies for United Nations on drug related matters. It mandated to monitor global drug trades. It was accepted by the resolution made by the United Nations Organization, Economic and Social Council. It is one of the fundamental commissions of the ECOWAS and governing body of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. How many members are there? 54 member states are there. Elected by whom? ECOSOC. It is chaired by Bureau, including one member per regional group. Now, who is the head? India is the head. UN Commission on Narcotic Drugs. It is in the news. Headquarter where? Vienna. Headquarter is located in Vienna. Vienna which country? Austria. Then, see this. Eastern Maritime Corridor. Eastern Maritime Corridor. Earlier, we have Western Maritime Corridor. See the map properly. See, like this we used to go. Bombay, Babale Mandap, Red Sea, Suez Canal, Mediterranean Sea, London, Scandinavian countries. Like this we used to go to Russia. Round tripping. Now we created an alternative to go to Russia, which is Chennai, then Strait of Malacca, South China Sea, Sea of Japan into the Russia. How much time we are saving? 16 days. How much it was? 8675 nautical miles. Now how much it is? 5647. So that maritime corridor is called as what? Eastern Maritime Corridor. We are establishing this. If you see here, it's going from Chennai, Strait of Malacca, Malaysia, Philippines, South China Sea, Sea of Japan, Vladivostok. So this is going to be the alternative for Western Maritime Corridor. So the best corridor is what? Eastern Maritime Corridor. Western Maritime Corridor. Same. Other maritime corridors also we have, like what? India, Middle East, Europe Corridor. So from India, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Israel and finally to Italy. This is India, Middle East Asia and Europe. Already we have, which is other maritime corridor by the name called as what? India, Middle East, Europe corridor. Mumbai, it starts from Mumbai. UAE, Jabal Ali, city name. UAE, Al Kuwait, Riyadh, Harad, Al Hadait, Israel, Haifa, and finally Piraeus, where? Greece. This is called as India, Middle East, Europe corridor. Economic corridor, same. Economic corridor. So other corridors, not local, international corridors. Science and technology. Oxytocin, what is this? Oxytocin is a hormone. Oxytocin is a hormone which is called as mood enhancer. It will give a mood. Mood means a very happiness, pleasure. Sometimes we see few people, they will be laughing among themselves. That is oxytocin. So sometimes this oxytocin, what it will do, it will create hormones. This will enhance, energize the hormones, thyroxine, which helps in release of more milk. So in our dairy industry, what is happening? They are using huge oxytocin. So because of which the cows, the buffaloes were being forced to give more milk out of their capacity because of oxytocin. The courts had banned this usage of oxytocin, but still they are using it, hence it is in the news. A polypeptide hormone secreted by the posterior portion of the pituitary gland, oxytocin stimulates the contraction of smooth muscles of the uterus during childbirth and facilitates ejection of milk from the mammary glands. The same thing will happen for the woman, the same thing is happening for the cattle. Secreted by pituitary gland, it plays a role in reproduction, childbirth and lactation apart from social interaction. Used both for humans and animals, it's supposed to act directly on the uterus to reduce rhythmic contractions. In certain animals, especially farm animals, it is used to achieve milk let down. Milk let down means without milching, milk will let down. Milk will come down without any milching. Believed to stimulate mammary gland and induce milk production in farm animals, provided the udder is prepared to do so. Simple. So in the oxytocin is recently in use. Why? Because this oxytocin hormone is artificially used in cattle in order to produce more milk out of the capacity of the cattle. What is oxytocin, sir? Oxytocin is a hormone which is secreted from pituitary gland. It is a mood enhancer. It gives reliefs. It gives pleasure. It gives happiness. It also results in production of more milk. But it is banned. Usage of it in man and animals is banned. But however, why it is in the news? Recently, Delhi High Court told, in spite of that, in dairy field we are using, in Indian dairy we are using what? Oxytocin. Air independent propulsion, simple concept. DRDO had manufactured air independent propulsion. You know this. Periscope. You know periscope. If you want to see a submarine which is there inside the water, if they want to see someone on the surface, if any ship is coming, what they will do? They will put a periscope. A pipe will be there where a opening will be there. This will be falling on the mirror and it will be falling on the mirror and we will be looking at it. This is called as periscope. So generally submarines, what they will do, for their engines, for internal combustion engines, compulsory there is need for air. For our survival also we want air. So every submarine, what they will do, they will put a small pipe from the top. They go deeper. When air is reducing, again they will come onto the top and they will release a pipe onto the air. So this will suck the air and again they will go back. It's a regular exercise. But what will happen? Enemies will see, what is this pipe is coming out. So there is a chance of attack. So in order to reduce this, or in order to not to depend on this, now we are coming up with what? Air independent propulsion. The engines will run without air. Air independent means what? Independent. Now propulsion means what? Engines. Now engines are not going to depend on air, which was been created by whom? DRDO. Air independent propulsion is a technology that allows submarines to operate underwater without needing to surface or use a snorkel. It can be used to replace or supplement the diesel electric propulsion system of non-nuclear submarine. Distrust, which you know, which much in news. Suddenly they will call you and they will tell that you have did this mistake. We come to know, we are a police department. So police are coming near you to catch you. So your parents will come to know, your relatives will come to know, you will be coming in social media. Everyone will share your video. What you will do? Oh, please don't tell all these things. Then what I should do? Pay me 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees. If not, you will be arrested. That type of scamsters, fraud is called as digital arrest. Fraudsters. Victim receives a call, typically a video call from an unknown number. Why video call? When there is a video call, authenticity will grow. When there is a video call, authenticity will increase. A victim is told or someone else sent a parcel containing illegal goods in their name. Sometimes fraudsters say that someone known to the victim is involved in a crime or accident and is in their custody. So that type of scams are called as what? Digital arrest. Digitally they are arresting. Then why arrest, sir? They will claim like a police officer. They will claim like an enforcement directorate. They will claim like a CBI. They will claim like a research analysis wing. That is called as digital arrest schemes. Global one-stop center. Now, India, to protect our women who are residing in different countries, the Ministry of External Affairs had came up with a scheme called as what? Global One-Stop Center. Recently received approval from the Empowered Committee of the Ministry of Women and Child Development to establish Global One-Stop Center. The centers aim to provide what? Comprehensive assistance to women in vulnerable situations, addressing their immediate needs and offering critical support. 7 OSCs, one-stop centers with shelter homes, will be established at Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, both Jeddah and Riyadh. 2 OSCs in Toronto and Singapore will function without shelter home facilities. So totally how many OSCs are there? 9 are there. In that 2 don't have shelter homes, where Toronto and Singapore. The Ministry of External Affairs has introduced a dedicated budget line to support this initiative. The Indian Community Welfare Fund will play a pivotal role in extending women measures. So any woman outside the country, if she is facing any problem like absence of accommodation or any police issue, any migration issue, this global one-stop centers will help them. In 7 locations, there is global one-stop center is there with accommodation is there. But in 2 centers, global one-stop center is there without accommodation. So total how many centers are there? 9. Under which ministry? Ministry of External Affairs. Global Hunger Index. Global Hunger in India rank how much? 120? 105 out of 127 countries. What are the parameters we use to calculate the hunger index? Undernourishment, child stunting, child wasting, child mortality. Undernourishment, child stunting. What is that? Who have low height for their wild wasting. Who have low weight for their height. Height is not according to the age, it is called as stunting. Weight is not according to the height, it is called as wasting. And child mortality. Based upon this 4, global hunger index rating will be given, and we got which rank? 105. Which is under which category? Serious category. Last, Global Innovation Index. What is the Global Innovation Index? We received 39th place out of 133 countries. Global Innovation, it is published by whom? World Intellectual Property Organization. It is a reliable tool for government across the world to assess innovation-led social and economic changes in their respective countries. Global Innovation Index, India has been ranked first among 10 economies in Central and Southern Asia. India has also secured 7th position in the World Intellectual Property Organization Science and Technology Cluster Ranking. Major cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru and Chennai are listed among the world's top 100 S&T clusters, which are hubs for research and development. India has achieved 7th rank globally in intangible asset intensity, which measures the strength of non-physical assets like intelligence, patents and trademarks essential for driving improvements. So Global Innovation Index will be given by whom? WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. India rank is how much? 39th out of 133. These are individual ranks within that, but main rank is how much? 39th. So these are all the 30 topics. Number 1, again quick revision, fast. What are all we discussed? Vadhavan Port, yes or no? Vadhavan Port, daylight saving team. Why it is in the news? Daylight saving time. Why it is in the news? Trump want to close it. Trump want to stop it. Third is what? Jal Vahak scheme. Fourth is what? Kerch Strait. Ken Betwa link project. And Vice President of India. Protected area regime. Assisted dying legislation. National Grain Tribunal. And we have what? National Register for Indian Citizens. Then we have what? UIDFF. Then we have what? Mule Hunter AI. Mule Hunter AI. This is the topic. Mule Hunter AI. Then Consumer Confidence Survey. By whom? RBI. India's direct tax collections is increasing. India Skill Report 2025 by Niti Aayog. This report is given by whom? Niti Aayog. Next what? 89. Ramsar Wetlands. Goldman Environmental Prize. Glyptothorax Punya Brathai. And International Cryosphere Climate Initiative. Geoliter Partnership Project and Ghost, yes. GSAP skills. Then we have UN Commission on Narcotic Drugs, Eastern Maritime Corridors and other corridors. Science and Technology, Oxytocin, Air Independent Propulsion, Digital Arrest and Global One-Stop Center, Global Hunger Index, Global Innovation Index. These are all the most important 30 topics of January. In this way, if you do your current affairs for every month 30 topics for your prelims, those who are planning for 2025, if 10 months if you do, 10 into 30, 300 topics you do, compulsory 10 questions will come. Thank you.